This is regret number 6, and it goes all the way back to the early days of my entrepreneurial career. And it's a perfect example of how believing your own story can be incredibly dangerous. I once co-founded a vitamin company with a friend. One day, we had an idea. The very next day, we were scaling the business before we ever went to market. Here's how it happened. Every morning, my buddy and I, we'd meet for coffee and we'd listen to a nationally syndicated shock jock on the radio. One day, he turned to me and he says, "Scott, have you noticed that like 75% of the commercials on this show are about hard alcohol?" That comment kicked off a conversation that, in hindsight, should have ended much sooner than it did. We made a stack of assumptions. If alcohol companies are advertising this heavily, the audience must be drinkers. And these drinkers, they must care at least a little bit about their health. If they care about their health, they'd want a vitamin formulated to replace what alcohol depletes. If we advertise on this show, we'll have instant success. Well, that whole logic stack sounded good. It was logical. We became so convinced of our narrative that we skipped the most important step. We never validated whether there was an actual market. Instead, we poured money into product development, locked in distribution, committed heavily to marketing. We scaled the business as if success was guaranteed. We didn't test, we didn't pilot, we didn't ask potential customers. We just bet the farm. 3 months after launch, we had 3 orders. That was it. Total flop. Not because the product was bad, and not because execution was sloppy, but because the market never existed the way we imagined. Here's the lesson that stuck. Assumptions feel like insight until they aren't. We didn't fail because we lacked effort or creativity. We failed because we scaled belief instead of evidence. That regret shaped how I think about building a business to this day. This is exactly the kind of mistake Scale B.O.S.S is designed to prevent. Scale B.O.S.S forces discipline before scale. With Scale B.O.S.S and the AI built into it, we would have tested demand in small controlled experiments, validated behavior before committing capital, measuring signals instead of trusting stories, built incrementally instead of betting everything up front. AI doesn't get excited about clever narratives. It looks for patterns, proof, and traction. Scale B.O.S.S helps you test ideas cheaply, learn quickly, and only scale what actually works. If we had used a system like this, the vitamin idea, well, it might have failed fast and cheaply, or it could have evolved into something the market actually wanted. Either way, we wouldn't have lit a pile of money on fire. This regret sounds familiar. I have 9 more that cost me tens of millions of dollars over my career. Follow the link below and learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to fall into the same trap.